Hey traders, checking into the stock market today. A bit of a lackluster bounce attempt, a little bit of green out there, but choppy action, and the names that I need to see leading to have confidence in the broader market bulls, we're not doing so. FOMC tomorrow. Let's see how we're shaping up. All right, so this will be a bit of a quicker check-in just because a lot of what I'm going to say is depends on the FOMC reaction, and that's tomorrow 2 p.m. Eastern. And again, I care less about the reaction from 2 to 4 p.m. tomorrow. I care more about Thursday and Friday's reaction, and we know that where we stand right now, it's the bulls. They need help. So if we do not have a bullish reaction, the bears keep complete control and they keep confidence in daily downtrends. And I will continue to keep my bear bias as long as daily lower highs continue to form. So I talked in the video yesterday about a potential setup where I would be scouting a potential bull entry, but I wanted to see more strength today if that was going to be shaping up. We did see confirmed 4-hour trend changes. S&P 500 did it. No follow through at the moment. You can see on the daily perspective, anything under 4309 here, let's go to SPY. Anything under 429.64 is just a daily lower high. So that means we could see a potential, let's just say we were at the high of today when we see a reaction, we could see a potential 2% bull move and still just be heading up to daily resistance. So for me personally, I would rather wait, miss a big enough bull move that then has me say, okay, I'm interested in the higher low after that. So that's where I stand heading into the FOMC. And for me, it's going to be a little bit more patient. There was a possibility I could be a little bit aggressive if I saw what I wanted to see today. I didn't see it. So the NASDAQ 4-hour trend change with zero follow through. And the most notable aspect for me, we can see QQQ daily, anything under 329.89, just a lower high. But as I talked about yesterday in correlations, I need to see QQQ leading the way. And we did not put up 2 green days in a row on the QQQ divided by SPY chart, which again shows us correlation. I need to see QQQ leading the way up if I'm going to have confidence in the broader market bulls to sustain a bounce. So we've had a green day, big red day, 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 green day, not a big red day. All right, it's a bit different. So I'll keep paying attention, but I need QQQ divided by SPY to do this while the broader market is bouncing for me to have confidence, because we've led the way to the upside in the blue sky breakout market. We led the way to the downside once our top was set. We led the way to the upside on our 3-week big bounce. We led the way to the downside since then. I need to see it lead the way to the upside to have confidence. So QQQ, very choppy on the 5-minute time frame today. And I took an MARA trade while I was live streaming first thing this morning, and that went well. And then from there, I made a few attempts. I probably had 5 or 6 attempts in both directions. I had a little bit of a bull lean today, but I probably made 5 or 6 attempts where I stopped out with a small win, break even, or a small loss on QQQ. And there was a 15-minute, I thought I had a real good one here, 15-minute cup and handle attempt with the high of the day, came down, failed the high of the day. We had this bull flag here, and I had a real good entry on that bull flag. Sold a tiny bit, set my stop right under the low. Again, it was either break even or tiny risk. Just missed, failed stop out. So I was just stopping out left and right and just said, eventually I'm just done. Done for the day, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. But the daily downtrend is our guide. Bigger picture. SMH bullish reaction after hours to AMD earnings. So we're up at the high of the day right now, trying to negate the daily bear flag. And to do so, we need to see these bulls get over 242.67 for a quick little higher low and higher high. And that is, whoops. We are holding on a bit better than QQQ. Certainly the last few days. Hourly uptrend is still intact. So that 242.67 level is potentially in play tomorrow. And here is AMD earnings, solid move. Up in the 95s. So weekly bounce underway for AMD with a whole bunch of space for a weekly lower high to be the result of this bounce. But it's some short-term upside. Tesla. So I'm watching Tesla for the potential of a 4-hour equilibrium. If we see red tomorrow, I will be viewing this as a low, high, higher low. Anything under 934.40 is just a lower high. So if we get that red tomorrow, We'll then be looking for a higher low compared to 844, and it'll just be a tightening 4-hour range. So that's if we see a little bit of weakness tomorrow. That 4-hour time frame is where I'm going to be finding the clarity. And you can see it on the daily time frame here. It's just a little bit less detail, but tightening up. XLV tried to get a daily bounce going here today. It's not a convincing one. We haven't changed the hourly trend bull. We went straight from the low of yesterday to the high of today. Here's the hourly higher low attempt, which means we must break the high of today tomorrow if an hourly trend change is going to confirm to the bulls. And if it doesn't, a bear flag is absolutely on the table because this is not a convincing daily bounce candle today. XLF, very similar in the sense that we didn't change the hourly trend. Big move off the lows, definitely positioning heading into the FOMC going on. Hourly higher low is trying to form. Have to break the high of today tomorrow to confirm the hourly trend change to the bulls. Daily downtrend is our guide. What is happening here, as we're seeing this little 2-day bounce attempt, we're in a scenario again where no RSI levels are oversold. So my two criteria of what will have me looking bullish are extreme historical oversold levels, not even close, bulls proving something to me. So we're now in the standpoint where bulls must prove something to me, and that's what I'm talking about, where this daily bounce has to be big enough to prove something to me for me to say, okay, that's impressive. I'll scout an entry on the next daily high or low. But we're not there yet. IWM, so anything under 191.73 is just a lower high. XLF was definitely our lead bull sector today easily. And again, we're seeing this shift, not the shift, but this difference between these groupings: tech, semiconductors, growth, XLV, XLF, commodities. That's about it. They're on this side. I guess utilities would be over there as well. And so yesterday, this group stood out stronger. QQQ led the bounce. Today, this group stood out stronger. QQQ weaker. So again, it's just this little back and forth action and no consistency with tech being stronger, which again is what I need to see for confidence. So IWM resistance is 191.73. Hourly does have a little uptrend intact. So that'll be our short-term guide. If we lose the hourly uptrend, we are likely shaping up another daily lower high, but it's still intact at the moment. So the 2-day bounce on IWM, you can see it's more convincing than most sectors today. And I look at this, and knowing that XLF had a big day helps me discern, is IWM going up because of growth, or is IWM going up because its largest sector holdings are in the financial sector? And I can look around at a couple growth names and say ARC is not strong. It's showing some weakness there. I can look at PLTR, red day today for growth. SQ, red day today. So that tells me IWM was standing out today because of the financial sector strength, not because of growth strength. Biotech sector did get some bounce follow through. So it's trying to show us relative strength. 78.10, 77.92. That is a double top here, a little triple top right around 78. Do we still have the hourly uptrend? Not very clear. Definitely got choppy out there today. But I'm watching daily EMA 12 resistance, and I need to see some further upside if I'm going to be scouting a daily higher low to try and form next consolidation. But again, XBI is showing some relative strength against IWM. I guess not today. A little bit of weakness. But XBI has a lot of proving to do for me. Let's go to the 2-day time frame, just condense things down a little bit. Yeah, we have a long way to go if we're going to be shaping up a daily trend change. BABA. So just like Tesla is a potential 4-hour equilibrium trying to bounce, BABA is a potential 4-hour equilibrium during consolidation. If we see any red tomorrow, it'll be a 4-hour lower high at 102.69, and we will then scout a higher low compared to 95.15. So Chinese names still standing out a bit stronger. NIO is much weaker than BABA, but stronger than some names that are trying to bounce, but not by much. Baidu Baidu and Baba, very similar. I will be interested. Again, I'm in all cash as far as Baba is concerned. I want to see a weekly lower high. And I want to see this tighten up for another month plus. And I would absolutely be interested if we were to tighten up and then break bull, because that would be the most convincing weekly bull move that I've seen here in many, many months. But I want to tighten up a good bit first, build up some power, shake up that soda can before opening it up. MARA, so the trade that I took today was knowing that over the last 2 days, we have an hourly equilibrium forming. I highlighted it yesterday. I was watching this for a trade, and I was watching bull miners, gold miners, or metals. So lower high, higher low. We closed yesterday, unable to break resistance. So we opened today, and my mindset was, if we open today and see a pullback, I'm making a play off of 1588. I want the price to get closer to that level so my risk is smaller. We dropped down to 1623. I made an entry. I think I got filled around 1648, perhaps. Sold a little bit into the initial bounce. So as soon as I sell a little bit into the initial bounce, I'm now very comfortable in that trade. I think I sold 1/3, maybe 40%. Either way, we then confirm the 5-minute trend change and the bull break of the hourly equilibrium. So the bull break was 1687 and 1692. And then from there, sold a little bit more on a pullback. And then once we broke 1681, I was all out. And this was just a day trade for me. This is the level. When that level broke, I was all out of the trade. I then was looking at the 15-minute equilibrium, and I wanted a bearish entry here, looking for a short, top fishing 1714 resistance. Unfortunately, Fidelity didn't have enough shares to make that trade worthwhile for me, enough shares available to short at that point in time. But that would have been a nice one. That would have been just as big a win as the bull one was, the bull entry. But that was essentially the most notable trade that I had today. And again, the other trade that I was watching was these miners for the same thing. Our lead bulls confirmed hourly trend changes yesterday. NVDA, Tesla, XBI. These names all confirmed the hourly trend change. Those other groups, the other group of names, MARA, Coin, GDX, had hourly tightening ranges which were on the verge of breaking bull to follow along, but had not done so yet. So GDX today was the other one where as soon as we broke 3468 shortly after the bell rang, there's your hourly trend change confirming and some solid follow through. So the daily bounce underway here for the miners, but anything under 3609 is just a daily lower high. I'll be watching to see if some kind of inverse head and shoulders attempts to shape up. We certainly know metals and the dollar are going to react significantly to the FOMC tomorrow. 12-hour support held on the dollar. Just a tightening 12-hour range, maintaining the higher lows. Metals still not really convincing on any kind of bounce attempt. Here's gold on the 4-hour. So yeah, a bounce took place, but we're still not really shaping up a trend change at this point. The miners are certainly stronger than the metals. At least they were today. Oil is still real tight. Inventory report tomorrow. We'll see if we get a break. We're $6. Make that, we're $8 above support. And we are $6 below resistance. We're very close to the middle of this range. Natural gas, nice top fish rejection for aggressive bears. We headed into the key 8054 resistance with a 4-hour RSI in the upper 70s, just hitting 80 at the high. The hourly RSI was in the 80s. 15-minute RSI in the 80s. And this is the kind of setup. I wasn't watching natural gas closely today, but not only did aggressive bears get their entry, patient bears got a top fish attempt again. They got a second chance. And then we rolled over into a pretty notable 5% drop. So now the question is, are bears able to confirm an hourly downtrend from here next time we see a bounce to make it a pretty convincing double top rejection? But my ideal top fish and bottom fishing plays, and this would have been a top fish, is as extended as possible. I want those RSI levels through the roof. If I'm bottom fishing off of support, I want things as oversold as possible on every time frame. to increase probabilities that support's going to hold. And the opposite is true if looking for a top fish bearish entry. And so we certainly had those criteria extremely overextended heading into key resistance. So I'm going to be very hands-off tomorrow, at least in the first part of the day. I'll see if anything stands out to me, but probably not going to do a whole lot of aggressive trading post-FOMC reaction. What I like to do for the FOMC reaction is watch the 1 minute time frame and watch the initial highs and the initial lows of the reaction. And then any trades that I make based off of that are based off those levels. And so I can then limit my risk and know that the risk and reward is worth it if I have levels to play off of. So that's generally what I look to do. So we'll see how it shapes up. Burden on bulls. They need help. I care more about Thursday and Friday than I do the last 2 hours of Wednesday, because very often we see a reaction Wednesday and it doesn't follow through Thursday, Friday. Things shift in the opposite direction. It's going to be interesting. Bears are comfortable. Got to make bears uncomfortable. And the daily lower highs are our guide. Appreciate you watching. Do good things. And we'll see you tomorrow post FOMC.